do? Welcome to another episode of Uneducated Thought. My name is emmizziee. I'm your host. This is the show of hot tops, hot takes, and whatever the fuck the Crown Royal make me say. Welcome back. It's episode 4 or 5. I think it's. I don't really be keeping track like I'm supposed to, but yeah, welcome back. Today I have a cup of tea and Crown Royal apple. Kind of tastes like a little bit of what's them little like candy suckers you used to get with the little caramel around them? You feel me? Little caramelized jump off. Anywho, welcome y'all back again. Thank y'all for coming back. I've been having a really not wild, but like difficult time with these shows, as y'all probably already know. Because I move off of feedback. And when I'm not getting no feedback, I don't be wanting to do shit for real. Am I 30 years old? Absolutely. Does what people think about what I make still matter to me? Absolutely. So if you can comment underneath what you've been feeling about this show so far, if you got any suggestions or anything like that, by all means DM me on Instagram or put them in the comments. I'm very shiny today. Quite shiny. It's because I just got out of the shower and I'm moisturized. I have lotion on. On top of the lotion, I have oils. On top of that, underneath both of those, I have moisture shit that sucks in the lotion and the oils. Your nigga knows nothing about that because his nuts are ashy. And that could never be me. Maybe you might want to get with me instead, huh? Let's get into these topics. Raymonte went on a trip with a bunch of his friends and a bunch of different little influencers and shit like that. Not little influencers. I don't want to say that. I hate when I say little to stuff because I feel like I'm downplaying what people really be doing, and that's not what I be trying to. Like when people be like, "Oh, I know you got your little show. I know you got your little this. You got your little that." Like you kind of like minimizing it, and you know words mean things. So I take that back. Let me retract what I said. Raymonte went on a big trip with his big friends. Okay, they do big shit. They went to Mexico. He got a $5,000 house from what he said, and they was all there. Essence caught wind of this, did a whole article about Raymonte and the trip, and was basically the whole premise of the thing was why don't black influencers get as much like opportunity and shine and shit like that as the rest of them do. Raymonte saw that, looked at Essence and said, "Girl, when the last time you even invited me to the house? Let alone let me come in through the back door because you knew you wouldn't let me come in through the front." And so people got on him about that. Cardi B decided to chime in. Cardi B decided to chime in and be like, "Yo, you know, you need to slow down a little bit. Like, it was a while before I got opportunities and this, that, and the third." It was a whole little thing about it. People started going back and forth. It got real anti-black real quick up in the Cardi B side of stuff. People started to bring up Cardi B's like affinity to bounce back and forth from being a nigga and being Dominican and then being whatever the fuck else she said she gonna be. They kind of telling her she on some like Nikita Dragon type shit for real. Not even Nikita Dragon because that bitch wasn't nothing but Asian. But I digress. They got into a whole little back and forth about the thing. And so people started to talk about the whole thing. Here's my thing. I think that, well, first of all, I'm definitely on Raymonte's side. Like, I feel like, because his whole point of his whole side was that, you know, this is a new day and age. Like, I should be getting certain opportunities. I should be getting certain, like, you know, deals, brand deals, whatever the fuck it may be. But he ain't really pressed about that shit. And I know he wasn't pressed about that shit because that nigga been making pay for a hot minute and nobody seems to know how the hell he doing it. But I'm not going to make it hot for you, my boy. Whatever you doing. Whatever you doing, go ahead and keep it going on, brother, and keep the goddamn paper coming in, cause bitch, it is hard out here for a pimp. I think that there's a few things that I want to talk about as far as this goes. Number one, I think that the influencer market as we see it today is different. Like back when I was younger, when Instagram first started out, that's how old I am. It was different. Like people, it was a lot more that needed to, I guess, be done before you can get like a brand deal or like sponsorships or even sign to agencies and shit like that. And so as opposed to nowadays where I feel like motherfuckers be getting famous overnight, literally overnight on the Clock app or wherever the fuck else, mainly the Clock app for real, because that's where all the babies is. um they get real famous over there overnight, and brands just flock to them. You see them in their comments and shit like that. Like it just be like quick, I feel like money grab type shit for real. But I still think that there's less what's the word I'm trying to say? There's less like doors you got kind of got to go through in order to get there. Um and brands know and understand how influential people like influence is nowadays, and that people will really listen to these niggas that they like put money behind for real, in the sense of like brand deals and shit like that. um that being said, Raymonte is one of the biggest like influencers, black influencers, I feel like, on TikTok, um, which is a major app that a lot of these brands use for brand deals and shit like that. And it's just really crazy to me that he wouldn't be getting Nike deals, Adidas deals, Chick-fil-A, whatever you know what I'm saying? Like, put the nigga in a goddamn Kool-Aid. Don't put that nigga in no Kool-Aid ad. Whoa. No, but like put that nigga in like a Casamigos ad or some shit like that. Like there's a gang of shit that he can do that's possible for him to do, and that would be marketable for him to do, that y'all just choose not to do because of my second point that I kind of want to get into, which is that it is very clear and has always been clear that ghetto, the ghetto aesthetic and ghetto ness is like in now. And it's always been in because niggas have always been marketable. Niggas have always been the culture. We not gonna get into that, but we already understand that. We gonna go from that point. Niggas have always what niggas do, what niggas wear, what niggas say, what we listen to, what we dress, how we dress, whatever the fuck it be, has always been what people focus on or take from in some way, shape, or form throughout history. It's always been that way. And right now, ghetto is good, very good. A lot of your managers at work be walking around saying TikTok memes and slang words and shit like that that came from the same niggas they wouldn't have even hired. And you know that to be true because we all know that to be true. And so Raymonte not getting no deal was crazy to me because of how good ghetto is, because of how much ghetto is in. But I also understand that y'all like ghetto, y'all don't like ghetto people. That's a fact, because what Raymonte is doing is like, or how Raymonte is. First of all, let's even just talk about his content for a second. All he do is go online and be funny. He tell jokes. He cackle a little kiki ha ha. And when he not doing that, he in a Target walking up to people that look absolutely fucking crazy, but telling them that they look good. What's the problem there, Mr. White Man? Why can't he get a check for that? Target, call that nigga and get him to come through and do a goddamn commercial or some shit like that, because he always doing shit in y'all stores. But again, it's because ghetto is good, but ghetto people are not. And I know, and I say that because when Whoa Vicky came out, the girl was everywhere and everybody faced all the time. She got brand deals back to back. She got so I had to block this hoe because she was always on my goddamn feet all the time with celebrities and rappers and doing all that. She was always on my feet everywhere, whether she had a team helping her or she was just doing it on her damn own. Like, she was everywhere. But she was very hyper ghetto. Now, whether that was like who she was for real or whether that was just like a gimmick that she did to get to where she was, that's not here or there to be debated right now. That's not what we're talking about. But the point is, if she can do it, Raymonte can do it. If Landon can do it, Raymonte can do it. So why aren't y'all giving him what it is that he needs? You know? And I know some people say, some people said, well, it was because of how hostile he was with Essence. Like, people don't want volatile people like that and blah 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 and woozy woo and all this little shit like that. But What about all these crazy ass crackers that be out here getting high as hell? Demi, y'all niggas is still put some money behind her in a heart fucking beat. This bitch done had a goddamn 15 goddamn heart attacks, lost sight in one of her goddamn eyes because she was used to be off the benders all the time, going crazy. I still had that bitch on goddamn the Grammys. You know what I'm saying? And there's no shade to her. She could do you know what I'm saying? All power to her. She could live her life. And I want her to, you know what I'm saying, to be cool and shit like that. I know she be having demons that she fighting. But the fact of the matter is, why can't you have this crash dummy out there, but you can't have this nigga that's, you know what I'm saying? And I know there's two different levels of fame and shit like that. So don't even bore me in the comments with that's not the same thing. But you get the point that I'm trying to make, right? He's very marketable. He's very able to push a product to a group of people who will listen to what he has to say and will, even if they don't believe that he buys the shit, interact with it. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll help propel your brands in some way, shape, or form. And I think that part of me wanted to be like, this is the time for like black brands to step up and, you know, to do something with them and try to give them some sort of platform or something. Not platform, but you know what I'm saying? Like give them some ads and give them some sort of game and some shit like that. But also understand that a lot of you goddamn black brands want to be more white focused any fucking way. So y'all wouldn't even want Raymonte either. That's something that niggas don't really be talking about for real. Why the fuck we had Shea Moisture from the beginning and now it's always white people in them fucking ads. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so over Easter, if y'all didn't know, there was a huge bank house not bank house. There was a huge heist at a I guess like security facility, whatever the fuck. I think it's Garda was the people. The people that drive around in them bank trucks, y'all be seeing them all the time. You know what I'm talking about. They drive around in them bank trucks and they be picking up the money from the ATMs and stores and shit like that, and then they just drive off. Them places aren't directly connected to banks like I thought they was, probably because of GTA and because I'm stupid. But those trucks go to like little facilities that store whatever the fuck. You got like diamonds you want in a safety deposit box. You got money that you want here somewhere. Like they'll put it in that motherfucker and keep it nice and secure for you. But them niggas in LA got smacked over the head. $30 million walked out that bitch. I think the heist was on like a Saturday or Sunday. Niggas didn't even know the 30 M's was gone until Monday morning. From what they gathered, these motherfuckers came in through the roof on some goddamn Splinter Cell shit. Came through, bypassed all the goddamn alarm systems and whatever the hell. So obviously it was an inside job. But yeah, they got through all that shit, went up in there and cleaned him out. 30 M's. I did a little bit of math because I was trying to figure out, because my homegirl used to work at the bank and I was asking her like, what is like the standard like storage for like money type shit? Because I'm thinking like, how long would it have taken them to go in there and get that 30 M's and walk out? Because in my mind, I feel like that's a whole lot of fucking money. But I think that like, what was the number I did? I said if they wrap up money in thousands, you know what? I had this in my phone somewhere, I think, but I don't remember where I put the notes at because I whatever. I'm over it. I'm not about to look it up. So fuck where I was going with that. Ride with me from here. Yeah, 30 M's is a lot to walk out with if a motherfucker did not have known that shit was gone until Monday morning. Imagine you leave for work on Friday. You you left work on Friday and there was a whole wall full of cheese in that bitch. You come back Monday morning, you late for work. You left like 10 minutes late for work, so you already pulling in like 5 minutes behind type shit because you didn't have to zoom through traffic. You didn't got caught behind like 4-5 different trucks. Them motherfuckers is going 10 miles an hour when they start, so you'd have to weave around them bitches a little bit type shit. You come in late and you was the last nigga to sign off on all the shit to be done too, right? Like everything that you did on Friday, you signed off. You signed a little pamphlet book the log, whatever the fuck it is. I was like, yes, we have $30 million in this motherfucker, and we have all of this other shit up in this motherfucker, and we are straight to go. And then you go through all that shit Monday morning, nigga. You done spilled your coffee on your pants. You gotta change your pants so you get to work. All that shit. You come in, you clock in, you look to your left, and the whole wall is gone. Because let me add that too. I forgot to tell y'all, these niggas came in through the roof and they left through the fucking wall. Yes, ma'am. These niggas came in through the roof, stole $30 million, and came out the back of that bitch. I think they had a little like security footage showing these motherfuckers putting the money in the goddamn car, and it looked like they did it in broad fucking daylight, which is really crazy to me that y'all niggas would be able to steal that much motherfucking money at 3 fucking p.m. and nobody was able to stop y'all. That's why I'm saying this shit is an inside job for real. That's a lot of fucking paper to run off with, and I just want to say that here at the Uneducated Thought Show, we do not condone crime. We do not support theft. We think that, and by we, I mean me, because I'm the only nigga here. We do not support the thievery and the swiper and the swipiness of some of the actions that you niggas do. But what I will say is, if you are a person that stole from them in LA and you are watching this, I'm not going to tell you what to do because there's probably some legality around saying some certain things. But what I will say is Bitcoin seems to be, Bitcoin seems to be one of those things that the upper whites, I shall say, use in order to Tide Pod their currency. If you get what I'm saying, you connecting with me. Bitcoin, I think that Nailtex is a good option. They got about 1,500. They got a smooth 1,500 fees and late fees and hair fees and nappy fees and why you bring your kids fees and them the wrong shoes fees and yo scalp is dirty fees. The dandruff in your head is clogging up my phone. My phone. The dandruff in your hair is clogging up my comb fees. So there's a lot of paper cash that goes in and out of that sort of industry. So if you got some cousins or something, I'm not telling you what to do. Just know that. So this is the segment of the show I like to call "What's on Your Heart." This is the segment where I go on about a little thing that I've been thinking about for a little bit, or I had on my mind I wanted to share, or something that you wrote into this spot that you wanted a little advice on, or you had something that you want to just get off your chest, and whatever it may be. If you have anything, by all means, DM it to that or to this spot right here, and I might read it aloud. But today, I want to talk about something that has been on my mind for a few days, actually. Before I say this, I want to say that this is directed towards my people, the Negroes, and specifically Negroes above the age of like 28. You know what I'm saying? Like 28 and older. I'm pretty much talking to y'all because y'all were the ones that kind of had a lot to chime on about this whole thing. But if you didn't watch the last episode, which why the fuck didn't you watch that? I had spoke about the whole Gerard Carmichael and Tyler Creator thing where Gerard had told Tyler that he had feelings for him and Tyler didn't feel the same, and it was this whole little like awkward back and forth. So nigga Tyler had farted, hotboxed the room, killed one of them cameramen. I'm sure he did. And a lot of the discourse around that on like Twitter and like TikTok and all that stuff was black people saying like, well, who really cares because they only date white men. And I kind of got a little thing about that because I feel like one of the criticisms that I really have for my people is that we are quick to alienate. And just roll with me for a little bit because I know this is kind of just roll with me for a little bit, baby. We are quick to alienate other people within our group, within our race. I think that when it comes to black culture and the black community, we have like these like strict guidelines that you're not supposed to you're not there's these strict rules that you're not supposed to like violate, and if you do so, you're gonna have to take your ass over there with them honks or wherever the fuck that you came from. But I feel like within those like barriers, there are these little like spots where I feel like we kind of gotta like think about a little bit. Um, the kids kind of got it now because it's not really their whole thing. What I'm talking about, it's mostly just us. Um, but anyway, when I was in like high school, and anybody who knew me from high school, you can chime in and tell them what I'm the truth. I hung around a lot of white people, whole lot of white people. I hung out with a lot of white people because a few things. One, I wanted that was like the only group that was like in my like school. Like we didn't have a lot of like Latinos and like a bunch of other different race of people. Like you was either like white or black. We had a few like one or two Asians. We had like this family of Arabic kids. But other than that, it was white people and black people. And I've always been inquisitive, and I've always like liked other things outside of like what's stereotypically black. You know what I'm saying? And so when the rock shit started to come around, niggas listening to Paramore, niggas is listening to like Punk Goes Crunk, niggas is listening to all that shit. I would participate in that, and part of that would be, I would learn about these things from hanging around other white kids. Um, and I started to adapt certain stuff. Like they used to wear the skinny jeans. I used to fuck with niggas was wearing Volcom. Like I used to have me a little purple Volcom hoodie and shit like that, and all of that stuff. But another reason why I hung around white people is because I felt like that was around white people was one of the places that I was allowed to be gay. I came out when I was in like my junior year for real. Um, and prior to that, I always was kind of like a little weird. Like I was like a loner. I didn't really talk to a lot of people for real. I think like a lot of people knew who I was because of my sister and my brother and shit like that. And just because I would just talk to everybody, like I didn't really care who you was, where you was from, none of that shit. I would just be cool and talk to everybody because I just felt like everybody should have got respect and been cool. Um, um, but when I wanted to like, start hanging, when I was hanging around the white kids, a lot of times niggas was like, tell me I'm trying to be a white boy and tell me that I'm, you know, I don't think I'm black. Some of the white kids would try to be like, well, you black, but you're like white, even though you're black, which is real fucking crazy because I ain't never gay that. But I would hang around white people, and some of them would be problematic, and I wouldn't really fuck with them like that. The ones that I hung around with were pretty like non-problematic. They did have like little fucked up views, shit here and there, because they was like poor whites. But when you talk to them and you really like explain shit to them and like understand, like get them to understand certain shit, they kind of started to. But whatever, I ain't trying to sound like I'm caping for white people. The whole point I'm trying to make is that I would hang around white people because I felt more comfortable being around them being a gay black boy, because I felt like when it came to black people, most of the time, and again, this is just my area. This is not for every, this don't go for everybody everywhere. A lot of the black people that I felt like in my community were homophobic, or if not outwardly homophobic, they weren't pro gay. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't allowed to be gay around them. I can be gay and I can be there, but I can't be gay and there. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't express myself as a gay man. I couldn't express myself as a gay man is what I'm saying. But around the white people I could. And the whole you can't be pro black while dating white thing really just frustrates me, because I think that a lot of the people that say that aren't the people who would have accepted me as I was back then. Like listening to the music and wearing the clothes that I was wearing and shit that I was like getting into and was interested in was weird to black people, and was in my community was weird to black people. I wasn't like allowed to be these things around these people. And it's not, obviously it wasn't all black people. Obviously it wasn't all black people, because there's a lot of black people that I hang out with today that were my friends back then, who after I came out continue to still be around me. So I'm not even trying to sit here and paint it as if all the black people was homophobic, or even that the homophobia that I experienced from black people was significantly more bad than like the what I experienced from white people, because homophobia is homophobia and that shit show the same face in both places. But what I'm saying is that like when I was growing up, it was more. Like I said, I was more able to express myself completely and talk to people about who I had crushes on and why I had crushes on them and shit like that. I could do that with my white friends, and I couldn't do that with my black friends. You did what I'm saying? And so that led me to going more towards, I feel like, white men back in my younger days. Um and even into my adulthood, I'm gonna be real transparent about that. Even into my adulthood, that still was some that I kind of held, um, because I had a fear of trying to be too gay around too many black people. Even now, I'm 30 years old. I'm married to half white, half Indian man, but he's white passing and white presenting. And even when I go around places with him in like black areas, I'm still going because like whatever the fuck, and I still got my heat on me. So nigga, if it really get like that, it's gonna get that way, bitch ass nigga. But I still feel eyes, people looking at us, and people like like it's not only are you gay, it's like why are you gay with this white man? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's the homophobia and it's all that shit too that I still feel. And even when I'm like around certain people and I get to talking about being gay, like I can still kind of sense or feel some sort of like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not what you're supposed to be doing type shit from my people. I'm kind of just talking around, whatever the fuck. But I I I I feel like that brought me towards it because, like I said, I could be more comfortable over there. And I think that that's not something that other black people really like think about whenever they go that whole "why are you black dating somebody outside your race" thing. And obviously, it goes without saying. I feel like that some of you niggas is coons. Some of you niggas just only want the white girl because she white. Y'all only want the Latina girl because she Latina, or y'all want anything but a black woman because y'all hate black women. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely real. That's really, really real. And I'm never gonna sit here and say that shit not real because it's y'all niggas show that shit every day in y'all speech and how y'all talk about people that look like y'all and y'all mamas. Um, and that's not what I'm giving. But I guess my whole point I'm trying to make is that like if you wouldn't have been the person to have been there with Tyler when he was like acting crazy and doing all that wild stuff and being a part of the wild LA shit, and y'all wouldn't have accepted him as that as he was, or even now as he is, right? Like a lot of people still think that he's a weirdo and he's crazy and he be doing too much and all that shit like that. If y'all wouldn't accept him as he is in your household, in your place, with your friends, in your community, you can't blame a nigga for trying to go and find that support and that love elsewhere if it's outside of their own people. And do I think it's cool? No. Do I think it's good? No. Do I think that black people in any in any do I think that any black person in any intersectionality is safer and will be more happy and be more loved and cared for and supported with black people? 100%. I'm gonna always say that. But I think that when you aren't the person, like if you have never experienced being alienated from your people and you've never felt what it felt like to love and care for your people and want to be around your people and not hate your people, but just want to do something different and then they hate you because of that, you don't really understand the mind, like the mind, the head, the you don't understand the mental space that a lot of these motherfuckers could be in and what makes them only go white. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not trying to sit here and cape for that shit. I'm not trying to sit like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, bro, I'm not trying to sound like one of them niggas. I do not want to sound like your baby daddy right now. But that's a reality that I think that we kind of gotta like bring in. And I think that the younger generation is understanding and accepting and being cool with, because you see a lot more black gay people hanging out with black gay people. You see a lot more black trans girls being around trans people. You see a lot more, you know what I'm saying? And you see a lot more of the even niggas who used to only hang out with white people. You see Tajik Hall coming back trying to kick it with the niggas now. You dig what I'm saying? Like there's more And a lot of that could be because of this black wave, this newer black wave that's coming through of people that loving being black and not accept being black, but loving being black and embracing being black and shit like that. And so that's sort of in more understanding of how racism works in this country and like how intricate it can really be, and the effects that it has on us as people. We're starting to get that, and I think that's starting to help too. But I do think that if you're not the type of nigga that's going to accept all niggas in every capacity, no matter what the fuck it is, you can't, I don't really want to hear nothing you got to say about what them niggas do and where they go and who they be around, because you wouldn't have loved them as they are. You wouldn't have accepted them as they are. You wouldn't have invited them into your home and greeted them with loving arms. You would have wanted them to conform to be what you think black people should be like, or what you think black people should talk like, or what you think black people should interact or engage with. And that's just not how this shit work. Niggas is multifaceted. Niggas is do all type of shit. Niggas is we are not a monolith, bro. And y'all be stuck on that type of mindset, and y'all still be stuck on that type of, like, I feel like a lot of y'all still stuck in that mindset, and a lot of y'all still stuck on that sort of framework of how motherfuckers are supposed to be in different races and shit like that. And y'all can't seem to understand that it's 2024, and Tyler the Creator is just as black as me, is just as black as you, is just as black as your mama. And the fact that he only dates white men, or supposedly he only dates white men, or that Gerard only dates white men, that's a ghetto situation for sure, and that's something that we definitely got to take into account when we listen to this nigga, we seeing what he doing and shit like that. But you also got to see where other niggas is coming from, and if you can't do that, are you really pro-black, in my opinion? So that's been the show. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, like, comment, share, send it to your mama so she can watch it. And if you didn't like the show, your mother smells like earring backs. I don't know if I said that one already. If you didn't like the show, your mama smell like fish grease. Bye, nigga.